Hi, this is Kristen here. Welcome to another process video, and today I'm working on 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life, Series 19, and I am working on sketch number 19, which is by Amanda Leckie. And so it looks like you have some florals on either corner, and then most of like your pictures and title are kind of in the center. So I decided to use Gingersnaps by Pretty Little Studios, and instead of florals have, because it kind of like look like tropical florals, I decided to use leaves. And so the couple pictures I'm documenting are of my son laying in a pile of leaves. He honestly looked like he could have fallen asleep in them. Like he looked so relaxed in them. Like you would have thought you could have laid down on those leaves and they would have been like, you know, a comfy couch or something, but they were not. They were super dry and probably a little wet. So I end up using this. I decided I really like this kind of ombre paper, mixed media looking paper, and then I wanted a border on it. I had considered a border on it, and then I think I ultimately decided, you know what, I just like it as is. So, because I didn't really want to cut into any of the mixed media part of it. So you can see where I'm kind of like considering this border, but and I'm sorry, I believe like the bottom part of this layout gets kind of cut off quite a bit just because of the fact that I was working on a very narrow, small table, and so I'm trying to pull in the different ephemera pieces. I was trying to, quite a few of these pieces I thought would be great for titles. I was really considering a couple of those, but you'll see I end up actually pulling in something different. And I don't think I make this video too long just because I think I end up cutting away from it because I really did kind of cut off a big portion of it. I almost considered scrapping even doing a voiceover for it, but I'm like, I took the time to film it, even if it's not a perfectly filmed video. I mean, it is what it is, I guess, right? So you can see I was kind of like really having a hard time picking out a title because I really liked all of it. I thought it all looked good there. I don't know if that's where it was. Yeah, that's where it was at in the sketch, because you can see the sketch to the left-hand side. So I had printed everything off. We, of course, were vacationing, so I had really tried to be intentional, made sure I got all my pictures printed off. The sketch calls for 4, but I ended up just doing 2 bigger ones since those were the only pictures I had to really document. So, and then I'm going to start trying to work on some of the different ephemera pieces and get them layered on here. I try to keep fairly close to the sketch and kind of keep the leaves kind of up in the 2 corners as much as I could. And I have so much Pretty Little Studio ephemera that it's like sometimes it's kind of overwhelming. I have a hard time. I feel like the layouts with Pretty Little Studios typically take me a little bit longer. I know 49 a Market, like depending on the collection, like the Willow Grove, which I will have a couple videos coming up here on Willow Grove, because I did have like pretty much all the ephemera. The missile, any of the Vicky Booten ones have so much to them that I really do. I kind of find myself having a really difficult time picking what I want to use because it's all so pretty and, you know, you want to use all of it, but so I'm kind of hesitant and I want to go through everything and make sure everything works, which really I need to just kind of go with what works first. And I think I'm always like, well, maybe something would work better. And typically I usually always go back to my first idea. So I put a little tag in there off to the right-hand side. I think it's got a little deer on it, maybe. I think that stays. I was trying to add a little bit more dimension behind the photographs. And those are actually just printed off with a white border. So I didn't even mount those. A lot of time that's my cheat. And because, again, I was going to be having limited supplies on this trip, I really tried to, I did pack, you know, some solid cardstock, but I was really trying to, like, kind of keep it as minimal as I could. So, and I apologize, you cannot see any of what I'm doing at the bottom right now. So I'm actually pulling in some of these little banner pieces to go underneath the photographs. And so you'll see those at the end when I do a close-up. I really tried hard to kind of cut away from some of this and edit it out as much as I could, just because, you know, it's not fun to see somebody just moving pictures around and then not being able to really see what they're doing. So, and so I'm going to start trying to pull in some different leaves here up at the top. Initially I was going to try to do the sketch where it's kind of up in the corner, but I really felt like I had a hard time getting the leaves to kind of fit in the corner naturally, you know, because the angles of them were a little bit different, and I felt like I was going to end up having to cut off stems or things like that. So I ended up deciding, you'll see here in a moment, I tuck it behind the tag and the photograph on the right. And then I'm pulling in some more different leaf pieces over on the right-hand side. I decided I thought I wanted one kind of over here by this title, and you'll see the title actually ends up changing. I really don't make you suffer through too much of this video, so you can't really see a lot of what I'm doing at the bottom. So I just kind of kept in what I was doing up at the top. So this is where I'm going to flip the leaves over, because I felt like they just looked better tucked in behind the tag. I just didn't really feel like I could make it work. Probably what would have helped is if I had picked out maybe paper that had the, you know, a lot of the mixed media papers have kind of where they do like the florals up in the corners. So that might have been the way to go with that. But I was set on doing ginger snaps. So you work with what you got, right? I want to get this little sleeping fox on there because it's his spirit animal. So there will be others playing along. There will be people on YouTube. So there's a playlist there. It's also a group on Facebook. So I'll include that information down below so you can go check it out. There's people, I'm sure, playing on Instagram. It's always a lot of really good sketches. So I'm just trying to pull in different color leaves here, just visually to see what I like. And so you can see I've changed the title. I end up pulling out an acrylic piece that I had brought with me. So that's actually Color Cast Designs. It says Life is Gourd. I just kind of thought that was cute up there. So here are a few close-up shots. I really appreciate you for coming by to watch another process video.